Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Sunday frequency meditation. Hope we all had a good week. Tonight, we're going to look into the programs on energy. You know, it's one of the most sought after things on the website for people looking, seeking. And there's reasons for that. So let's just get started. Take a breath in. Just notice where you are. Inhale. Really feel that air coming into your lungs, feeling the pressure of your lungs as the air increases. And then just hold it and release. I'm just noticing where you are right now. Are you standing or sitting? Perhaps you're walking, lying down. Just observe you and your body. And so you slept last night. Maybe you had a good 8 hours, 7 hours, maybe less, but you slept. And you woke up tired. But it's a different kind of tiredness. It's one that runs through the day as well. You're not just physically tired. There's something deeper. There's like a heaviness that was already there before even the day started. Before the emails, before the school run, before going to work, before even anyone asks a single thing of you. And you know this feeling. You get to the end of the week and you think, what happened? Where did I go? You were there for everyone. You showed up, you performed, you held it all together. But somewhere in all of that, you lost yourself. And that loss costs more energy than anything on your calendar ever could. Just coming into your sphere right now, that center point behind the eyes. And this is what nobody's really ever uncovering, if you like, about exhaustion. It's not about how much you're doing. It's about how much of yourself you're spending to be someone you're not. And just think about that. You know, every room you walk into, how you adjust. You read the energy. You calibrate. This isn't at a mental level. You decide which version of you is safe to bring in. And then you maintain that version for the entire conversation, the entire meeting, or the entire dinner. That maintenance is invisible. Nobody sees it. Nobody thanks you for it. Nobody even knows it's happening. But your body knows, and your body pays for it every single day. So it's not necessarily that you're tired because life is demanding. At a frequency level, these energy leaks, if you like, you're tired because you've been disappearing, just one small adjustment at a time. And your body is finally sending you the bill. That's what our body does, though. It communicates with us. It lets us know when there's a misalignment. But what have we done? We medicate. We try and fix it immediately. Not fix it at source. Just somehow numb it or adrenaline it, but never shift it at the source of why we have these leaks. And this is a part that changes everything. The moment the drain starts, it's not when life gets hard. It's not the difficult conversation or the long day or the impossible schedule multitasking. It's much, much easier than that. It's a split second before you walk into a room You meet someone, a situation happens, and something in you decides, which version of me is needed here? And usually it's not the authentic self. That decision running quietly in the background every hour of every day, that's where your energy is going. So tonight's not about rest. It's not about sleep hygiene or ways of sleeping better or getting into certain states or morning routines or breathing techniques or anything like that. Tonight's about finding that exact moment in your body in real time and seeing it so clearly that it can never cost you the same way again. So we'll bring in that awareness for you. Awareness, same meaning as awakening. And when that stops, the energy doesn't come back slowly. It comes back like you've just switched a light back on. So take another deep breath in, coming into that sphere, that center point behind the eyes. And just be here right now. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes. Look around at that external environment, everything outside of the body, and just observe it. You've created it. No judgment, just observe. Observe the feeling. And those of you who have been with me, you're quite attuned with this. For those of you who are newer, it just takes practice. This is another sense coming online for you. Besides our 5 physical senses, there's many, many senses. Just feel with that sense your external environment, the texture of it. Notice how it's separate from you. It's in fact a reflection. And then close your eyes and come back into your internal environment, everything from where the skin stops inwards. And just notice how that feels. And throughout tonight, if you can, check into that internal environment and see how it's shifting. And it's not from the words I'm saying, you're actually shifting into a more precise position with that wholer version of you. Notice your chest, just feel it. Feel whether there's maybe a tightness there, like a held quality, like you're bracing for something. It's not a dramatic tension, just it's a low level readiness, a quiet waiting. We have these programs, they've been running for so long, they're like white noise. They're part of us, we think. Most people have been carrying this so long, they think it's just how a chest feels. That's why we're in this density of duality. So it's when you release, deprogram, and you really feel, oh, this is actually how my chest is supposed to feel. Because that tightness is not how it should feel. That tightness is the cost of the performance. And it never fully switches off. So just another breath in. Notice your spine right now, you in your spine. Let's try something to bring this home with more awareness. Think about your day. Not the big moments, but the small ones. Maybe like the moment someone asks you a question, and before you even answer, you checked, you scanned, you thought. What do they need from me here? What is the right answer? What version of me works best in this moment? And then you gave them that version. Feel where that lives in the body. Maybe there's a slight forward lead of it. Or maybe the shoulders are drawing just a fraction, the jaw holding. That's not care. That's not thoughtfulness. That's the drain. As I mentioned, the body's there to communicate with you, is to guide you. But we've misinterpreted that We bypass that communication and we go immediately to, I just need to fix it, instead of letting it reveal itself to you, like what I've said before, where you're misaligned. Jim Carrey, he's a very switched on individual, incredibly switched on, incredible manifester. He once said that depression is your avatar tired of playing that role. This is what we're talking about here. We don't go into avatars. We're not talking about depression. Depression is just a symptom. It's a reflection of that misalignment. But exhaustion is along the same lines. It's that whole version of you, not tired of playing a role, but not in alignment, in efficiency. So there's, call it energy leaks, call it spending a lot of effort maintaining ourselves. And now let's think about the last time you were somewhere. It's usually at home by ourselves. And you weren't performing at all. You're not switched off, not disengaged, just yourself. No role to maintain, no version to hold in place. Maybe with a good friend that you couldn't truly be yourself. You remember how different your body felt? Less weight, there's more air. Time moved differently. That's your natural frequency. That's what you actually feel like when the maintenance stops. You've been so far from it that it feels like a memory. But it's not a memory. It's still here underneath all of that. And we're going to uncover it in this session. But before we go further, let's feel one specific thing. Think of someone in your life. Somewhere in your life that after you meet them, you feel drained. And we don't need to analyze it, just feel what happens in your body the moment their name appears in your mind. That's it. Maybe there's that slight brace, the breath that shortens, the chest that closes a fraction. That's your body telling you this relationship costs every time, even before they said a word. And then now, feel something else. Think of someone in your life who doesn't cost you anything. And if you don't have anyone, then maybe you have a pet. Someone you can just be with. Notice, same body, completely different response. Open, easy, the breath drops, the chest widens. This sense will keep getting more developed the more you practice this. So don't get discouraged for those who are new to this work. It will happen to everyone without exception. No one's special and different that it won't work for. It's just about being consistent and practicing. Just like a language, when you learn a new language, you have to practice. First, it's very clunky, doesn't make sense, it's frustrating. And then all of a sudden it just comes together and you start to become fluent. Your body's been tracking this your whole life. Just haven't been listening. And this is what matters here. The drain doesn't start with them. It starts the moment you decide which version of yourself to send in to meet them. That decision, that split second, that's where the energy goes. Coming back to the middle of your sphere, that center point behind the eye. And notice your other sphere all around your body, centered, present, not in the future, not in the past. Just feel what's supporting you right now. Are you sitting on a chair? Are you standing on the floor, walking, lying on the sofa, the bed? Just feel the weight of your body. Real, solid, it's here right now. Feel what's making contact with the floor or sofa. Your body's not performing right now. It's just here. Notice how different that feels from how you move through most of your day. And that's again, we're bringing in this awareness for you, usatapa, so you can feel the exact moment the performance starts. It's not to stop it, it's just to observe it. Someone walks in, real or imagined. Something in you shifts, a micro adjustment, a recalibration, a quiet decision about which face to show. Feel how much energy that takes. And it's not a lot in one moment, but multiply that by every interaction, every room, every conversation across every single day of your adult life. That's where your energy went. Not to your work, not to your family, not to all the multitasking, not to your life, to the version of yourself you built to survive other people's reactions. And notice what happens when the performance pauses. Again, going back to that person situation where you're not performing, you're just you. You feel safe. There's no need to scan your environment. There's no need to perform for other people's realities. Even for 30 seconds, you'll notice how your body relaxes. But it's not relaxation, it's return. Your body recognizes home. Your nervous system recognizes home, even if you've forgotten what it feels like. That's why part of this process of the work you do here, or the studies, however you want to refer to it, once you come back more home in a more precise position, usually you go through a period of complete exhaustion at a very deep, deep level. And it's not that you're sick. It's not that anything's wrong. It's your nervous system is finally stepping down, is going off that high alert, adrenaline scanning. And again, that takes a lot of energy. So you get to a point with the space-time method that your nervous system feels safe. It can be. Just be. And so that period of exhaustion that happens from this is actually that quiet stillness that's always been there. And very quickly, as you go through the process, everyone's rule set's different on how they should go through these processes. So just a heads up, you decide your rule set, your tempo. But once it passes, there's another whole level of energy that comes in, but with an underlying stillness. Another deep breath in. And now let's feel that identity that runs the performance. And it's not bad. Nothing's bad. That's our own selves making judgments on everything. Deciding, judging on these frequencies that we have no idea why they're here for. So this identity that runs a performance, it was built for a reason. Some point in your life, probably very early, and you've also brought things in. You learned that the real you was too much or not enough, or both at the same time. Too loud, too sensitive, too needy, too direct. And so you edited, you shaped. You built a version that worked better in the rooms you're in. And then you kept wearing it. Long after those rooms were gone, long after the conversation was gone. I just feel that now, not as a story, but as a physical reality. Feel the weight of the version you've been maintaining. It sits forward. It leans slightly into every moment before the moment even arrives. It's always slightly ahead of where you actually are, preparing, scanning, managing. That forward lean is exhausting. And you know how it's packaged? You know how this has gone unnoticed for so long? It feels like being responsible, but it's abandonment of yourself. It feels like holding it together, but it's coming apart slowly, invisibly, every single day. And here's the big one. As we breathe in, noticing our two spheres, it feels like who you are, but it's who you learn to be. Feel what's underneath that version. Before the performance, before the editing, before the years of calibrating yourself to everyone else's comfort. There's something there that's never been tired. Even if right now you get a little glimpse of it, just hang on to that. It will get clearer. And this version that's never been tired, it's not because it's superhuman. It's because it's never been performing. It's just been waiting. But waiting in the present moment. And coming back to the middle of your sphere, feel the weight of you. Whatever you're standing, sitting, lying down on. The breath is moving on its own, the room around you, exactly as it is. Open your eyes, look at that external environment again. You creating this environment, you solid, not having to shift yourself for other people's environments. And then close your eyes and come back in your internal environment. Let's just stay here for a minute. And right now, this very moment, you're not performing. Nobody needs anything from you in this moment. And notice, the body's not collapsing. It's not falling apart. It's actually doing something it hasn't done in a long time, except maybe during these sessions. It's resting without having to earn it. And that's the new position that you're that we have shifted to. Not trying harder to rest, not optimizing your recovery, not adding anything or another tool to the stack, just stopping the drain at the source. Hmm. Hmm. This is what energy actually feels like. Not a surge, not those adrenaline peaks. It's also why we go into other realities. So we're looking for those adrenaline peaks. Our baseline is not in alignment. So adrenaline peaks through experiences, and usually we go into pretty funky neighborhoods to get those adrenaline peaks. They're to compensate for that overall misalignment. But what energy actually feels like, it's not a surge, it's not a buzz. It's this, as you notice your internal environment right now, it's steady, it's quiet, it's available. Mm-hmm. Another deep breath in. Mm-hmm. You don't get your energy back by doing less. You get it back by being more of what you actually are. Less of what you've been pretending to be. And again, there's no judgment here. You haven't got it wrong. You've actually used the intelligence to attempt to protect your environment. But there's no need. You know, a lot in the spiritual community, it talks about protecting ourselves from other energies, smudging, bubbles around us, all that. And that's okay at a certain level, but where we are, there's nothing that we need to protect ourselves from because we create it all. All we need to do, all we get to do, is not leak in, fuse into other people's realities. We don't need to create ourselves to fit, accommodate, fuse in to other people's reality. We just stay centered. We become our authentic self. And what happens over time? That audience gets smaller and smaller until there's no audience. And you're performing your life from you, not reflecting on what audience members might be judging, responding, reacting. You're free. And having this awareness now, not just from the mind at a very deep level, frequency level, to understand when you're feeling exhausted, you're not tired from your life. In fact, you're just tired from leaving yourself out of it. Hmm. Okay. I'll leave everybody here. Stay here. Practice this through the day. Practice coming back. When you are exhausted, when you start to notice the environments that you're accommodating, come back to your sphere, present moment. Breathe in. Just pause and just wait. Your perspective will change. Your energy level will change. And that will just increase more and more. And with that, I hope everybody has a beautiful, beautiful week.